All right, let's jump right into today's explainer, because we're looking at a piece of software that completely, and I mean completely, inverts how we usually interact with our digital tools. I mean, think about most apps you use on a daily basis. You open them up, you kind of have to orient yourself, hunt around for the menus, and honestly, you usually make something pretty clumsy at first. It takes time, right? There's this frustrating learning curve before anything actually starts to feel good. But the subject of today's deep dive, an experience called RHEO, flips that entire script. The exact moment you touch your device, this liquid light just blooms right under your finger. Within maybe 30 seconds, you completely understand the entire application.
And that brings us to RHEO's ultimate goal, which is, simply put, a calmer kind of beautiful. It's deliberately designed to be this small, incredibly soothing experience. Basically, it turns a single fingertip into a glowing river of color. You touch it, the liquid light swirls around, and then it just slowly, beautifully settles down. It puts a calmer kind of beautiful right in the palm of your hand, and it works flawlessly across the iPhone, the iPad, and the Apple Vision Pro.
So, let's look at how it does this in Section 1, 0 to Beautiful, eliminating the learning curve.
So here is the entire manual for the app. Seriously, this beautifully simple interaction vocabulary is the whole thing. You just drag slowly to create this sort of silk effect, flick fast for a burst of light, or pinch the world into a swirling vortex. And because of this carefully engineered system, there is absolutely zero blank canvas anxiety. You know that feeling of staring at a terrifying bright white Photoshop document for an hour? Yeah, you won't get that here. Why? Well, because there is no blank canvas. It's literally just light that responds to you. And the central design choice here is something most creative apps would literally never dare to do. RHEO asks absolutely nothing of you, and you absolutely cannot make an ugly creation. Every single stroke trails stardust and catches the light. The skill is totally hidden in the fact that no skill is actually required.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 2, returning your attention, the loop of calm.
So look at this stark contrast between RHEO and the modern attention economy. Our phones right now are packed with software engineered purely for extraction. They use endless feeds, totally arbitrary scores, and daily streaks just to keep you hooked. They're harvesting your attention. RHEO? It has none of that. Absolutely nothing is trying to keep you there. It's just a fluid that reacts to your input and then settles gently back to calm. Instead of engineering compulsion to speed you up and keep you doom-scrolling, RHEO engineers minutes that actually slow you down. It's built to return your attention, not extract it.
And to make this loop of calm actually work, it engages way more than just your eyes. Sight, sound, and touch all sync seamlessly together. There's this warm ambient score and really subtle haptic feedback that rise and fall depending on how much you move. So the app actually gets louder and busier when you're active, and then eases off when you stop. It's a multi-sensory feedback loop, and it is pointed entirely at generating a sense of calm.
This whole philosophy really shines in a specific feature they call breathe mode. Basically, RHEO reuses its incredible liquid light engine to become a genuinely elegant, completely wordless breathing companion. It visualizes the relaxation technique of box breathing, but it completely eliminates the need for those stressful ticking countdown numbers you always see in other wellness apps. In this mode, you can actually see the breath pacing right in front of you. When you inhale, the whole fluid swells and is drawn upward, and when you exhale, the fluid eases and sinks. It's like gravity itself leans into the rhythm of your lungs. It's a perfectly legible breath pacer created by the exact same engine that makes the pretty light. It's just a remarkable piece of reuse.
All right, moving on to Section 3, beyond the flat screen, the technical leap.
Now, when you experience this on the Apple Vision Pro, it becomes an absolute showpiece. First off, you have something called the veil, which wraps this tall, curved canvas of living light entirely around you, and it lets you paint with a mere glance and a pinch. But then, if you activate room mode, the flat window disappears entirely. The canvas just vanishes, and the liquid literally spills out to wash your actual physical room in shifting color. You stop looking at a fluid, and you start standing inside one. It is wild. But, as you might guess, rendering volumetric color and painting an entire room in real time is incredibly heavy on processing. So, to make this work seamlessly, the application is verified on device at a rock-solid 88 to 90 frames per second.
And hitting that specific number, it isn't just a technical flex. 88 to 90 frames per second is the exact difference between magic and motion sickness. And trust me, there is absolutely nothing calming about nausea. It's the kind of grounded, honest detail that proves the app's true quality. In fact, it's the very reason why the first tester's one-word verdict of the app was simply fluid.
Which brings us to Section 4, the art of subtraction, made with care.
These are the thoughtful little details that don't necessarily sell an app, but they demonstrate a profound level of respect for the user, like it greets you with a photosensitivity notice right up front. Amazingly, it fully respects Apple's reduced motion setting, meaning they actually built a secondary version of this entire motion and light experience that still works beautifully when motion is dialed down. There are hidden moods that unlock slowly through discovery with absolutely no nagging progress bars. And I absolutely love this last point, shareable seeds. If you send a friend a link, they open the exact same fluid state you're painting, down to the last shimmer. You're sharing the experience itself, not just a flat screenshot.
And the commercial shape of RHEO? It perfectly matches its calm philosophy. It is a single, universal purchase at just $3.99. That's it. You buy it once, and it is yours across your iPhone, iPad, and Apple Vision Pro. This pricing model reveals a really quiet subversion of the industry standard. I mean, consider the typical model today, right? Subscriptions where you're essentially renting software forever, mandatory accounts designed purely for data harvesting, and an endless maze of ads and in-app traps. Now compare that to the RHEO model, a one-time purchase, local processing right on your device ensuring true privacy, and an ethos of just owning your ground. It proves that a calm, beautiful light painting tool has absolutely no business harvesting your data or renting itself back to you.
So, the quiet thesis underlying this entire project is incredibly powerful. Remove everything that isn't the point. RHEO deliberately strips away the surveillance, the daily streaks, the recurring subscriptions, and the endless feeds. And when you strip all of that unnecessary noise away, what's left is simply light, settling gently back to calm.
I really want to leave you with this final provocative thought today. Look at your phone. Look at the software that occupies your daily life. What if your apps were built to subtract everything that isn't the point? What if they were designed to actually return your attention rather than steal it? It's a fascinating question, and RHEO is just a really beautiful glimpse into what that future could look like. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll see you next time.